Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Scott and Jaime Show. I'm Scott with Velocity.
And I'm Jaime, also with Velocity.
We look a little ridiculous, we realize that. It is one of the coldest days of the year here in Washington, D.C. I'm wearing a t-shirt, and Jaime?
It's so cool!
Yeah, and this really helps us understand the two of us better, how we deal with weather. So let's talk about weather, which is a topic that we normally would shy away from as coaches because that's very superficial, but we think we've come up with a way to really dig a bit deeper into the weather and how it affects people's behavior. Jaime?
Yeah. Well, I believe that you are either a person that hates the cold or a person that hates the heat. Yeah.
Me. Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person that hates the cold, it really has a huge impact on your mood and on your attitude and on your ability to cope when it's really cold outside.
Yeah, I think, especially for me, I don't mind winter so much for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's darker in the evening, so when I go to bed really early, which I always tell people I go to bed, 10 o'clock? But the truth is much earlier than that, so I don't...
5 o'clock.
I don't feel so much like my grandfather when I go to bed and it's dark. In the summertime, if I fall asleep at 8:30 and it's light out, I feel like somehow I've lost the will to live, so I start feeling guilty. So in wintertime, I have no issue with going to bed early.
See, and I love the sunshine, and I love to be out in the sun, so I love it when it's light out in the summertime. And I love actually going home to visit in Michigan because it's further north, it stays light for an hour later, and it makes such a huge difference on my mood. I feel so much better.
And it's interesting because scientists who've done research on does weather really affect someone's happiness, it turns out on average, if someone moves to a more temperate climate, a more consistent climate, let's say Southern California, they will have an increase in their well-being and happiness, but it's short term. But remember, that's the average person. If you are a person very affected by seasons, very affected by darkness or by cold, then you will have probably a more long-term and consistent increase in your well-being. So it's something to keep in mind.
I think also noticing that when it's cold for me or when it's hot for you, it's harder to do the activities that we find bring us more well-being. So I normally walk every morning, and this morning I skipped my walk because it's like 20 degrees outside, Scott.
Right. And I enjoyed...
You even said it was cold.
No, it was cold, but I enjoyed my walk this morning because I wasn't sweating when I arrived at your house.
And how do you feel in the summertime?
In the summertime, I want to take the metro as much as possible, and I act like a mole person because I don't want to be out in the heat, and I put SPF 5000 on in an effort to stay as cool as possible.
And I'm luxuriating in all of the sunshine and in all of the warmth.
Right, people tease me, why do you always wear black? Mainly so that people don't see that I sweat a lot. Which is probably too much information, but I don't care because this is fun.
It's the Scott and Jaime Show.
It's the Scott and Jaime Show. So we were able to talk about the weather and not be so superficial, Jaime.
Right. Just know how the weather has an impact on your mood and what things you can do to help your well-being in those weather months where it is not really aligned to how you feel.
Exactly. So if you are sensitive to the cold weather and want to go for a walk, choose a mall instead of outside.
A mall?
Yeah, unless you have a shopping addiction, then maybe you wouldn't want to do that.
Hey, we should go to the mall later.
I love a mall. I do. I love a mall.
Okay.
I'm from Jersey. You gotta love a mall if you're from Jersey. Malls and diners and coffee. Coffee. We'll just talk. No big whoop.
Okay.
All right. So that's the Scott and Jaime Show for this week. And we will see you again next week. And bye for now.
Bye.